Championship. Joined now by Executive Director Lee Smith, who is probably watching radar. Is that what you're doing there, Lee? You're looking at radar?
Little bit, making some communications here with all the teams out here. It's I think we've still got what it looks like at least a couple more hours for people to watch golf. It was great to see our fans at the gates early this morning. Obviously, had a lot of star power in our morning groups today. So the great news is we're going to get a lot of golf in today, both before and after what we hope is a very quick moving front that gets in and gets out of here.
We were talking about the logistics of getting the players to stay safety if there is play suspended. What happens for the fans? What does that look like here logistically?
Yeah, a couple opportunities to your point of the players. That's a something that we run through. That really our rules officials lead, but an evacuation team, an evacuation system, evacuation routes, evacuation vans that handle really everything inside the ropes. Outside the ropes, we try. Weather is obviously very unpredictable, so we try to at least give a half an hour to sound the horns and get our fans to their elected place of safety before that an actual electricity comes on. Again, there's sometimes you can control that. Sometimes you're not able to. But we have a meteorologist on site that is specifically trained for this. We have a color system that we run through, that we communicate throughout the entire property through myself, text message, communication boards, our video boards out on the golf course. So I think we have a great system. Fans are able to, exit the premises to get in their cars if they'd like in any dangerous situation. Certainly can stay in areas at their own risk in certain areas. But we're hoping, like I said, this is a very short-moving front that will get a lot in before we go and get a lot in afterwards.
That's one where you could go to the car and maybe wait it out as opposed to leaving the premises.
Absolutely. There's quite a few. If you remember last year on Sunday, we had a similar challenge in the afternoon that we think is going to be significantly longer than this one. That was almost 4 hours. I think this one's going to be much, much shorter than that, we're hoping. The opportunity for fans. And that's the advantage, Rich. Sometimes we always talk about the blessing and the curse of parking and travel and transportation flow. But the blessing of that is that during a short opportunity that fans can find safety in a parking lot and in their cars, very, very close to the property, and then come right back in when we're able to open. The best thing for fans to do is follow the players on X or Twitter. That's kind of our go-to space for weather communications, and if they follow us there, they'll know when resumptions of play happen and when they can come back in.
Mentioned last year it did go to a Monday playoff. Rory McIlroy is back, but his back may be flaring up. We've all felt that before as we age a little bit. Yeah. How big is it of a deal, at least that he gives it a go this week?
I felt that this morning, Rich, and I didn't do much yesterday. No, you're exactly right. I think he's used the word stubborn, and that there's still just a little bit of pain there. I think I read that he got up to a 6-iron yesterday and took some full shots, but not with any longer club than a 6-iron, and then went out on the golf course and walked and chipped and putted. The field is obviously much, much better when Rory's playing. The demand and the popularity of the golf tournament is much, much better when Rory's playing, and then add in the fact that he's our defending champion. We certainly hope that good health for him for this tournament. But I think that's probably selfish in that we also want him to be healthy as a PGA Tour employee to play the rest of the year. He's certainly a big part of PGA Tour success.
Yeah, I got to defend the Masters Championship
That's
in a
right.
couple of weeks, right? You all are sold out Friday and Saturday. What does sellout mean? Is that a number that you do hit?
Yeah.
And how do you arrive at that number? It's an open piece of property. You don't have seats like the Everbank Stadium.
It is. Great question. And we kind of use that exact comparison, Rich. We don't have a number that's 68,271 and they fit into a seat, right? We judge our capacity based on the fan experience. And we have a number in mind that once we start to exceed that threshold, that the fan experience starts to erode. And we've in the middle teens, we had more people on this property on a day or two than maybe we will on Friday and Saturday. But things like concession lines and restroom lines and parking ingress and egress and just the ability to traverse the golf course. So it's more a protection of the fan experience. And so when we reach a number that is a sellout, we feel very comfortable that we're maintaining the highest level of fan experience while also optimizing the site. And so, again, we don't drive it just on a capacity of a butt in a seat, but we more do it based on the fan experience. And certainly excited about the popularity. And, 2 years ago, Saturday sold out with the same number that we go for the day before. Last year it was 3 days before. This year it was 9 days before. And this year we sold out, Friday yesterday. And it's the first time ever that Friday's sold out. So certainly shows the demand and the interest in the event.
The experience can't happen without the magic that happens right behind us, Volunteer Village, over 2,000 people, and everyone has a story to tell. I love the family stories that, a guy now who came up under his dad, and now he's got kids, and he started to come up. It's a generational thing.
Oh, the amount of legacy that is in the volunteer force, and I use the force word meaningful and intentionally because when we have a returning volunteer application process open up, we had 550 volunteers sign up in the first 30 minutes, had 850 in the first hour. I mean, it's a passion project for all of these people, and everybody has a different incentive to do it, but I think a majority of that theme is what this event stands for. Not only for the economic development and impact for the community, but the charitable impact, as you know as well as anybody, Rich. The impact that this event can have on organizations in need that do great work. We like to say every taco, every ticket, and every T-shirt that people purchase allows us to provide the opportunities at the Carathon or at Nemours Children's Hospitals or Canines for Warriors, really the organizations that need funding to continue to make the positive impact that they do. And the 68,000 hours that this group behind me will serve certainly helps this tournament do just that.
They count the eggs for Darlene's Diner. Did you know that?
I have heard that number. That's one of the few numbers I don't have memorized.
You've got the Sawgrass Splash number, right?
Correct. Last year was about 23,000, and I think with the warmth this year, I think we may exceed that number.
The volunteers make it special. The vendors and the local taste really that stickiness. I think that comes with something like this. New flavors that we're experiencing this year. What are we going to see?
Yeah, well, a couple new things for the general admission or stadium pass fan. This year we've got Island Wing Company is here. We've got Pi 95 is on site. We have our partner with Anheuser-Busch with Cutwater is a new in Trucks on 10. And then for our premium ticket holder that has Clubhouse, we actually built a steakhouse this year. And we called it Iron and Wedge, and it's on Players Right of 18. So the folks that have Players Club access or Clubhouse tickets, and we're getting rave reviews on that. It's the opportunity to go in there after watching golf and have a skirt steak and lobster mac and cheese. Like, you don't get that opportunity too many temporary places, and we're excited about the popularity of that and the expansion of that. But no, it's always really an objective for us to really create the same culinary experience this 1 week of the year that Northeast Florida feels 51 weeks a year. And so still got our popular favorites, the Bono's Barbecue and Taco Lou's and all of those out there as well. So it's really a great opportunity for people to come out. And even if you're a golf fan, come out and do a food passport around the entire property. You'll walk it off, but you'll eat a lot of good food.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably put on weight this week, but you probably walk it off and sweat it off running around the course too.
That's right. Absolutely.
thought popped in my head on the Monday playoff thing from last year, and with the potential of weather delays. Does it look the same on a Monday if we should get to that point? Like, do you scale down, or in what ways do you operate this? What does it look like on a Monday, for
Yeah,
example?
it will all depend on. I mean, obviously, with a little bit of delay today, it'll all depend on how long that delay is. The nice thing is that we have 21 less players in the field. So Thursday, Friday, and then you make a cut, and obviously depends on how many players make the cut to how much daylight you need. But I think we'll need a significantly longer delay than what we're expecting today to not finish on Sunday based on weather. Now, Sunday there looks to be a hint of rain possibly, but it's just a little too far away to think of anything larger than that.
Are volunteers on call for that possibility?
Yeah,
basically,
look. We last year we huddled before in Sunday morning and talked about what concession stands would be open. You know, what volunteers weren't flying out Monday, or what volunteers were local that weren't going back to work Monday. You know, I think sometimes people forget these aren't just retirees. These are people that their dedication goes as far as them taking a week off of work to be here. And so how many people that and so we turned around. I think we brought 6,000 fans in, and a few hundred volunteers stuck around last year and worked on Monday. So it's a it's a village that puts this thing together. And when you have to kind of go to scenario B and scenario C, we've always got those things in mind.
on charities, you mentioned it a minute ago. First Tee North Florida today. You've got some through the rest of the week. How big of prominence is that for those kinds of organizations?
Yeah, well, we'll start right here. This is our First Tee shoes that the First Tee kids painted to wear this year, that we just posted on the players' channels on Instagram. No, it's the charitable component. Each of our proud partners, Optum, Morgan Stanley, and Comcast Business, each select a charity for a particular day this week, and then the Players Championship picks the remaining 3 days. And so it's always special for us to celebrate those charities while competition is going on, and then after the tournament, that's an obligation for us. The other 51 weeks of the year is to take what this tournament has provided in the platform and share that message throughout the community the rest of the year.
Is it about $12 million for this year you're looking at?
We're hoping. We tend not to announce the individual annual number, but it's significant. And when we start to do our signature gifts to Nemours Children's Hospitals and Wolfson's and Feeding Northeast Florida is a big partner, and those types of things, it adds up very quickly, and it's something that we're very, very proud of.
We know all the popular places. We always go to them every year, but where's Lee's spot? Where do you like to just maybe sit down and just take it in?
Yeah, I think there's two places. I think number 4, I think, is a great spot. It's a difficult hole, but it's a hole that you can see a lot of action. A lot of players, for those golf fans, a lot of players that are hitting wedges into that hole. So the ball's spinning and dancing on the green. That's where Scotty holed out on his way to victory in 2024. I think number 4 is a great spot. There's a concession stand there. There's restrooms there, and it tends to not be a really, really crowded area. And then I always love 12 and 13. You got Taco Lou right there. But that's a drivable par 4 and a great par 3, and there's kind of a confluence of holes there with 11 tee, 12 green, and 13 tee and green, all right in the same place. You can see a lot of action there, and it tends not to be overly busy also.
Appreciate the visit. Enjoy
Absolutely.
the week.
Rich, thank
Lee
you for
Smith,
being
the
here.
tournament director at the Players Championship. Jacksonville's Morning News continues at 9:19.